Hello, welcome to week 4 of mentoring and team building. Last week, we discussed how to prepare for a mentoring relationship. We also highlighted several important factors to consider when mentoring others. This week, we're going to focus on the coaching framework and practices. The key concepts from our course this week will be understanding the difference between coaching and mentoring, and developing a comprehensive model for coaching others. What is coaching? Coaching is drawing out beliefs, solutions, and perspectives that reside in each person through powerful questions that create reflection and new awareness. Then coaching helps the client to create action steps to implement their new awareness or insights. So last week, we talked about mentoring being putting in. This week, coaching is drawing out, helping people come up with their own new ways of accomplishing a task or viewing a perspective or accomplishing a goal, and then helping them have the action steps to fulfill that. So that, like we just said, that the difference between mentoring and coaching is that mentoring you're putting in, this is new information, but coaching is drawing out what also already resides within them. And that's an important distinction. That drawing out is allowing them to have ownership, allowing them to take the responsibility for the next steps or the next action, and helping them decide what's going to be the best plan to put that in action. Again, we go back to our model here, comparing the two. Just like before, we said mentoring and coaching both require trusting relationships and powerful questions and deep listening and giving feedback, but coaching also fosters self-discovery. When you're coaching someone, they should discover something about themselves maybe they never knew before. You use inquiry or questions to evoke awareness and insight. It creates actions and accountability. And coaching is a thought partner. You're helping them think in new ways and in broader perspectives or new perspectives maybe than ever before. And the outcome is personal development and sustained change. What is Christian coaching? Because there's secular coaching and Christian coaching. One of the distinctives is, and this is from Keith Webb's book, Coaching Model, coaching is an ongoing intentional conversation. I want to catch that there. It's not a one-time conversation. It's an ongoing conversation, and it's an intentional conversation. This isn't just a casual, we're having coffee together. This is an intentional conversation that empowers a group or people to live out God's calling. So coaching can be done with an individual, it can be done with a group, but it's intended to fulfill and for them to live out God's calling in their lives. Here's the two core skills of coaching. First is active listening. Are you listening fully? Are you fully engaged? Do you have your phone put away? Is your smartwatch not enabled to interrupt you? Are you fully engaged with what they're saying? Are you asking powerful and open-ended questions? You want powerful questions that cause reflection, and open-ended questions are questions that aren't easily answered with single words or yes and no. You're wanting them to contemplate, explain, describe, paint a word picture of what they're thinking and what's going on. See, the skill of active listening is empathetic listeners are those who understand what the coachee is saying. They're making sure they're not trying to respond. They're making sure they're trying to understand. Then they communicate that specific understanding back to the coachee. This is a great visual to kind of help us understand. When I'm coaching someone, my perspective, my thought, my paradigm is I'm sitting on a bench looking out across this landscape and asking them to describe it for me. I don't make any assumptions. I let them fully paint the situation or the circumstance with their description, because I want to know fully what they think and see and understand before we even get to the inquiry or the contemplation. And by doing this, we have three coaching skills that help us do this. The first skill is encourage. You help the coachee to continue sharing by demonstrating appropriate interest. You encourage them. Oh, yes, I see that. Please keep going. Tell me more. You can have a whole coaching conversation just by asking, tell me more, multiple times. It allows them to express, to not only have a cognitive understanding, but an emotional understanding, a visceral understanding of the situation. I'm following you. You're making sure they understand you're moving along that path of description with them. You make statements like, it's making sense. Please keep going. Please share. The second skill is to help the coachee by repeating key concepts and phrases. So I think you're saying, did I hear this right, that you felt? Say that one more time to make sure I understand. Another great question is, I think the emotion you're feeling is, and let them restate that back to you. The third skill is summarize. Help the coachee by restating the important insights they have been discovering. So it sounds like you're saying, that was where you were, but now what do you want to do? If I understand correctly, you're making sure that you're summarizing and moving them along in the process of discovery in this process together as you're coaching them. Again, we go back to the quote from Terry Walling, one of my mentors, and actually one of my instructors in my coaching: you can't find clarity alone. You see, there's clarity that coaching allows people to experience, because they may not share fully, mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, what a situation involves. In coaching, you're allowing them to express and explore all of those realities, to have an insight and awareness that they may have never felt before. So our work for this week is a discussion post again. Using the class materials, define your coaching framework. Use a specific individual, such as a direct report, as a proposed coachee. Describe your guiding coaching principles, methods of communication, and the process for developing another skill set. Include several areas of strength and a few areas that need to be developed as a coach. So we really want you to figure out, how would you coach somebody that's reporting to you, and how would you help them not only grow in their strengths, but grow in their weaknesses and develop into the leader that you know they can be. And then, of course, we have our reading response again. I hope you find this structure around coaching helpful. I believe it can be such a powerful tool in our leadership when we stop telling and start asking, when we stop listening to speak, but listening to learn. And as we grow as coaches, we grow as leaders. You've been doing some wonderful work so far. I truly believe your leadership is growing and evolving. You're a better leader than you were just a few weeks ago. And I know that even more growth is getting ready to take place. I'm excited to see what your outcomes are, your reflections are, and your discussion post. Thank you so much for all the hard work you're doing, and excited for the journey for you. Look forward to next week's class. Thank you.